The Day That Changed History, The Assassination of Franz Ferdinand, by Charles Rusciano
and Emily Knutsson.
The immediate cause of World War I was the assassination of Franz Ferdinand, but many things contributed to the cause of the war. Something relatively small could not have started an enormous 4-year war.
The war had been building for years. The four main underlying causes of the war were militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism.
These things combined with the assassination were enough to set off the war. You see, many countries were waiting for someone to give them an excuse to fight.
Militarism contributed to the sheer size of the war, as well as the cause. Some of the nations have been building up their weapons supply since before the war. Great Britain had the largest navy, and Germany had the largest land army. There had also been extensive coal and steel production to support the military.
Alliances were a serious problem. The Triple Alliance was made up of Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. The Triple Entente was France, Great Britain, and Russia. Italy would eventually join in the opposing side. Other alliances included England and Belgium, and Russia and Serbia. The problem with these agreements was that if one country began to fight another, all of the countries would be pulled into the fighting.
Also, many countries viewed the war as a way to win back their honor. Germany had been humiliated at the conference for their claim over Morocco. France had also claimed this territory. Germany had called for a conference of all the world powers, and everyone had sided with France, even Germany's ally, Austria-Hungary. Germany had felt insulted and began to prepare for future war. These attitudes among the German people contributed to the size of World War I.
Russia also wanted to prove themselves. They had lost in 2 previous wars, and that is why they jumped into the fighting when Austria-Hungary attacked Serbia.
Imperialism added to the start of the war. Competition was fierce for land and power. The European powers had an intense drive to build empires.
And that brings us to nationalism. People in that time thought that their country should be the most powerful country in the world. So those are the underlying reasons for why the assassination of Franz Ferdinand began World War I. Before we tell you about Franz Ferdinand's assassination, why don't I give you some of his background information. Franz Ferdinand was the Archduke of Austria-Hungary and the heir to the throne.
Franz Ferdinand normally would not have been the future emperor, but his cousin, who was next in line, killed himself. Franz Ferdinand was not especially cultured, and he was prideful and mistrusting. That combined with his short temperament and suspicious nature made him lack the charisma to make him socially and politically popular.
He married a non-royal intriguer that went by the name of Sophie. Sophie was from a respected family, but not a royal. This angered his uncle because it was normal to have a political relationship over romantic. They were happily married, and Franz Ferdinand was considered to be a very loving father.
Franz Ferdinand's reform ideas were a point of controversy, even though they probably would have helped the empire. The Archduke was invited to visit Bosnia, an Austrian-Hungarian territory mostly inhabited by Serbians. He was invited to inspect the army, as he was the inspector general of the army. The trip was an opportunity for him and Sophie to seem imperial.
For having Bosnia as part of their territory, they were outraged at how much land Austria-Hungary had taken. Most people in Bosnia were Serbian and didn't want to be controlled by Austria-Hungary. A terrorist group, the Black Hand, was planning on killing Franz Ferdinand as a way to make it clear that they didn't like Austria-Hungary. The group was Serbian-backed, and Serbians gave them their weapons. Although it was never proved that it was the Serbian government, Franz died on June 28, 1914. There were 7 assassins trying to kill the Archduke as he rode around the city. The driver changed the route, which proved to be fatal for Franz.
Another reason that the Black Hand killed Franz Ferdinand was that they were against his reforms. By killing him, the threat of his reforms would be removed. Gavrilo Princip, who was 19, was the one who succeeded in killing him. Princip was part of the Black Hand. He shot twice, killing Franz and Sophie before attempting suicide. How exactly is unknown, but he was unsuccessful. Gavrilo Princip was caught before he could kill himself and was sent to prison, where he lived out the remainder of his days. Austria-Hungary used it as an excuse to fight Serbia. They did this because for years they wanted to gain Serbia and make it their own. They blamed Serbia, thinking that Serbia's ally, Russia, wouldn't join in on the fighting.
On July 28th, exactly 1 month after Franz Ferdinand's death, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. Russia stepped in and sided with Serbia, making Germany step in and side with Austria-Hungary. This made France step in, which made Germany decide to invade France for passing through Belgium. England, allies with Belgium, joined the war. Suddenly,
all of Europe was at war with each other.
so there you have it. Franz Ferdinand's death was the immediate cause of World War I.
The Great War began, forever changing the fate of Europe.